Hey, what's up guys? John here. I believe we're stepping into a very, very uncertain time, and what is happening right now in China, what's happening in New York, what's happening all over the world signals what comes next. And I'm going to connect the dots for you and for everyone to see what comes next. This just came out today. So July 7th, this just came out a couple hours ago. They go on to say that for the first time since the start of the pandemic, Beijing has required all residents entering large public places, including museums, theaters, and gyms, to now show proof, right? So they're going to need to show proof. According to the official, the Municipal Health Commission, senior citizens also must show proof to enter community facilities, right? And so if we're going to start to see this scenario, could we start to see a more unstable supply chain? Could we start to see supply chain disruptions at levels that we've never seen before? I believe it is very likely. I also believe that it's interesting. Today, July 7th, same time that came out, digital transformation is changing supply chain relationships. And so what they want to do in this article is that they want to have all the data, all the information on every single supplier, everyone that's doing imports, exports, everyone involved in the supply chain is going to be running fully off AI and data-driven and robotics and all this tech, right? And so what is this going to do? It's going to allow these companies to forecast what they're going to need to buy, and it's also going to communicate from one computer to another, how long it's actually going to take to get there, and what the costs are going to be, and what the health problems may or may not be in a specific country, what type of delays it could be. All of these things are going to be coming in, which is going to change everything that we know about shipping and distribution. And all of this is also happening at the same exact time where oil prices, some analysts are saying it could go as low as $65. Oil prices $65 would be like $2 a gallon, right? It would be significantly less, maybe $2.50 a gallon, significantly less than we've seen in a couple of years, right? And so they're saying it could also go to $380 a gallon, which would probably bring gas to $14, $15 a gallon. So if you have a Hyundai Elantra, or you have a Honda Accord, or you have a basic 4-cylinder car, an entry-level vehicle, you're probably looking at $250 to $300 to fill the tank, right? So if you do that 3 times or 4 times a month, you're talking $1,000 a month or more just for gas. Plus a car payment, the average car payment in America is $712. So $1,700, right? Not including car insurance. Car insurance is expensive, maybe $300 for car insurance. You're talking $2,000 a month to drive a vehicle, right? $2,000 a month to drive a vehicle, if this does in fact happen. But more importantly, how much is food going to cost? Because everything is going to be shipped and sent in on trucks. Food prices will likely double or triple. Everything is going to be going up through the roof in the event that we start to see this unfold. And this just came out, right? 2 banks are going head to head on their widely different predictions on where the price of oil is headed. JP Morgan Chase analysts warn global prices could reach a stratospheric $380 a barrel if Russia were to retaliate against the sanctions, right? Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, Citigroup signaling crude oil could collapse to $65 a barrel by the end of the year, possibly even slump to $45 by the end of 2023. For recession brings on destruction in the demand of energy. I could not see oil going to $65 a barrel. I don't see how that would possibly happen for a couple reasons. One, we are closing off our supply here. So there's going to be less supply, and we're going to have strong demand. Even if we step into a recessionary period, we're still going to have food demand. We're still going to have transportation. We're still going to have people that need to get to work. I don't see it. And plus we have the sanctions on Russia with oil. I don't see how we would ever get back to $65 a barrel. I think we're going to only continue going up, especially as we step into winter months and people need to heat their homes. This is where I see things going. I think things are going to get a hell of a lot worse before they get any better. Then this situation could stand right on top of the problem that's happening in Beijing. Now, with that being said, today's paid sponsor is the solutionevent.com. They believe that the most important thing that everyone needs over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and onward is going to be food, shelter, and community. Go to the solutionevent.com for free information. They're holding an event very soon in which you would be able to kind of build out a game plan. So the solutionevent.com is today's paid sponsor. This scenario right here A 77% rise, 77% rise in a week, right? And now they're doing an emergency meeting on the 18th, the week of the 18th, which is basically next week. They're going to be doing this emergency meeting to pull in all this new information, decide if we have a real problem, right? If there's going to be new restrictions or new situations. So my fear is that the situation in China gets worse. And then this situation stands on top of the situation in China, in which we could have a really nightmare scenario coupled with rising oil prices and a supply chain issue. This supply chain issue, to put it into context, if we did step into scenarios in which we really started to see shortages, it would really just be he or she who had the money gets the item, because there's going to be less of it available. There's so much cash, people don't value the cash in relation to valuing food or shoes or clothing. People are just going to swipe their cards and deal with the problems later. That's what's going to happen. And we're going to start to see prices go through the roof, right? I think we're stepping into problems. But, my motto is money is made when people are afraid. People get scared. What happens? People are selling things, whether it be a nice car, whether it be a piece of real estate or a nice watch or artwork. People are going to sell. They're going to want to deleverage themselves. They're going to want to sit on cash. They're going to want security. And so if you have money, if you have cash, you're going to be well positioned. We can't predict what's going to happen here, but what we can do is connect the dots and make smart educational decisions based on what it looks like, where it looks like we are headed. What they're saying is that they're reassessing this, right? And Tedros says that on Thursday, he says he's going to plan on reconvening a meeting for the organization's emergency committee to assess the current state of this in Western countries. In remarks given Thursday, Tedros told WHO members, states that he was still concerned about the spread, right? And according, they have apparently over 7,000 of these, right? And it's endemic in some Central and Western African countries. But Tedros noted that it could now be detected in non-endemic African countries by teams following the data. I plan to reconvene the emergency committee so that they are updated on the current epidemiology and evolution of the outbreak, right? And so July 18th, he said potentially sooner. He plans to convene a meeting during the week of July 18th or sooner if needed. Last month, they dismissed it, said it did not warrant declaring a global emergency, right? But we could really see that become a problem, right? They're saying that people are already passing away and that this could be an issue. And when we look at what's happening in New York right now, in New York, they're already starting to administer 6,000 of them, right? This came out today as well, about an hour and a half ago. And then also here, this also just came out, right? And so they're laying out a whole strategy. And they're talking about a total of 6,000, like I've just mentioned, and it's going to a total of 4 million. So they're intending to hit a total target of 4 million. And as this begins to happen, what are we going to see? I think we're going to start to see more concern. So if we're going to see more concern, then overall, here's right here, 4 million. Then we are going to we're going to start to see this impact the overall economy, right? Face-to-face human interaction, small businesses going to get impacted from this. People are going to be making buying decisions online. People are going to be working from home, right? And so we connect the dots. Things are going to get more expensive, potentially for vehicles. Things might get more challenging for the economy. It might be supply chain issues. This could impact your business. So what do you do during this time? You open an online business, you start a plan, you build out some type of strategy. I believe when we just simply look at the headlines, this is just, I'm going to refresh it right now. This is just today, 50 minutes ago, right? 5 hours ago, 30 minutes ago. Click news, 51 minutes ago, right? They're going to arrive. Some apartments are hard to come by. 1 hour ago, 9 hours ago, 3 hours ago, right? This is all today, right? And so this is what I think is going to happen. More uncertainty, more problems, but it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be the end for those that are smart and prepared, that are kind of building out a plan, a strategy. I don't think that these people are going to be impacted as much. So if you want more information, go to thesolutionevent.com if you are planning on potentially building out some type of secondary plan. However, when it comes to investing, we're going to be stepping into a once-in-a-lifetime investing opportunity. This is going to be coming very, very soon. I mean, we look at just the data. 1.46 trillion in outstanding credit card debt. What do you think that would do when we have rising gas prices or rising costs with supply chain issues? It means that debt is likely only going to continue going up because people are going to be spending more for items. You have 1.46 trillion in auto loan debt. What do you think that's going to do if gas prices continue going up? If they go up, right now we've seen a pullback, but if they go up to 150, 200 a barrel, I'm promising you every single dollar that it goes up per barrel, we see people lose their cars because they're over leveraged. The last year and a half, 2 years, what did we see? We saw people spending 30, 40% above sticker to buy a car, using stimulus money and small savings to buy these vehicles. So they're leveraging the car. They're taking out like 130% loan on a car. That'd be like you buying a $500,000 house and then taking out a loan for $750,000 for the property. That's what's basically happened all across America with millions and millions of vehicles. We have 1.7 trillion in student loans. We have all these problems that are unfolding here, right? Be the smart and savvy investor. Have a plan, have a strategy. Because when there are problems, there's going to be people out there forming solutions, and those people are going to get very, very wealthy by helping all of these people. People are paid based on the proportion of the problems that they solve. People are going to have a hell of a lot of problems coming very soon. Solve some of those problems and you're going to be rewarded handsomely. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think we could see a situation in China continue to escalate in which could impact our supply chains, in which could impact our everyday lives? Do you think we're going to see a situation being announced in the next 1 to 2 weeks that could really change everything? Drop your comments below. Hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. Subscribe. You're also subscribed on my second channel. It's going to be an interactive call-in show. We're going to be able to call in on a phone number and talk to me directly about the economy, real estate, business, everything that's going on. So be sure to subscribe down there. I'm going to leave the link pinned down below. And also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok up in the banner. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.